Welcome back to Indomitable with Dom, the podcast for people who refuse to stay stuck. Please bear with me as I deal with some vocal issues. I do truly appreciate you sticking it out with me. If you're tired of pointing fingers, if you're ready to rebuild from the inside out, you're in the right place. Because today, we're done blaming. We're rebuilding something new. I used to think everyone was out to get me. At home, at work, in life, somebody else was always the problem. But eventually, I had to face something harder than pain. I had to face the truth. Sometimes, I was the problem. Let me take you back. I was working at the post office, doing everything I could to become a supervisor. I lied about everything. Big business, big house, running things outside of work. But my supervisor, he saw through it, and I hated him for it. Now, he was racist. I'll never deny that. But I used his racism as a shield to hide my lies. I blamed him for not believing me, even though I barely believed me. And looking back, if I hadn't lied in the first place, I wouldn't have grown through half of what I went through. At home, same pattern. I blame my wife for our lack of intimacy. She changed. She was teasing me. But I was the one who changed. I didn't understand that trust is intimacy. And when there's no trust, there's no connection. Truth is, I didn't just blame her. I blamed everyone. And that blame was keeping me from becoming a man. But the turning point, it came one night after a long day of failing at work. I had been blaming everyone, my team, my boss, the system. I was stuck in victim mode. And then I looked in the mirror and I heard it. Nobody cares about you. You're not special. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel clarity. My head had just dropped like I had been hit with the worst news imaginable. But in that same moment, I felt conviction. Not shame, not guilt, just a sudden knowing that it's not about me. That's how I knew it was God. Because the Holy Spirit convicts. The Holy Spirit brings peace in the middle of correction. And that voice, it wasn't angry. It was firm, clear, and steady. And it was the moment that I realized I don't need applause. I need alignment. I don't need to be admired. I need to grow. There's a moment in every journey where you have to ask, am I still hurt? Or am I just hiding behind the hurt? Blame feels easier than ownership, but blame will never build you. The truth, you can't grow into a house, you can't grow in a house where you blame the foundation. You either fix it or you keep falling through the floor. Ownership isn't about admitting fault. It's about changing your voice, changing your posture, changing your patterns. That's what I did. I started listening instead of talking. I stopped defending myself and I started saying, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. And that shift, it didn't just fix my home, it fixed me. You want to build something real, let go of the blame. Because as long as you're pointing the finger, you're giving away your power. And if you don't take responsibility for your patterns, you'll spend the rest of your life surrounded by broken walls you refuse to patch. The lie says it's their fault. The truth says, I get to choose what I do next. So here's how this shows up in real life. At work, I used to lie to get into leadership. Now, I lead because I stopped lying. I didn't have to become someone else. I had to become honest. At home, I used to blame my wife for not wanting me, but I wasn't giving her anything to feel safe in. When I changed how I loved, she changed how she responded. And personally, that mere moment wrecked me. I had been spiraling, telling myself I deserved success, that I should already be top dog. But the truth hit hard. I hadn't earned anything yet. I wasn't even doing the basics. That voice didn't destroy me. It humbled me. It showed me the only way forward was to surrender, rebuild, and let the Spirit lead. So here are 3 small but powerful shifts that changed everything for me. Number 1, I stopped blaming. Even when I was right, I asked how I contribute. Blame feels powerful, but ownership is powerful. I gave up control. I realized control was just fear in disguise, and letting go meant gaining peace. Number 3, I let the Spirit lead. I stopped thinking my voice was normal, and I started following the voice that brought peace instead of pressure. If you feel like you're done everything and still are seeing fruit, take a breath, slow down, and ask, whose timeline am I on? Mine or God's? Sometimes we don't see the harvest because we're trying to rush fruit out of soil God hadn't finished working. Shift your focus from you to Him. He'll take care of the fruit. You just take care of your faith. Stop blaming, start building. Blame might feel like a defense, but it's actually a delay. And the only way forward is through ownership, surrender, and grace. You're not stuck. You're just being invited to rebuild on truth. Remember that night with my wife when I blamed her for our disconnection. I thought I was being ignored, but I wasn't creating safety. I wasn't creating presence. The moment I stopped blaming her and start building trust, everything shifted. So I'll say it again. Stop blaming, start building. If this episode challenged you, share it with someone who's tired of growing. Share it with someone who's tired of pointing fingers and is ready to grow. Share, follow the show, and be on the lookout for the free guide, 7 Steps to Overcome Your Mind. Until next time, keep growing, keep fighting, and stay indomitable.